Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be doing one of my favorite practice maneuvers for the commercial check ride, and that is the 180 power off to a landing. So what we're going to be doing today is that we're going to be scooting down the runway, we're going to simulate an engine failure in the pattern, and we're going to attempt to hit a specific target on the ground. Now when I usually do this activity, the way I like to do it is I like to power my off, right? At the point in which I intend to put the plane on the ground. So in this case, I like the 1,000 footers as kind of like my basic little target point here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cruise along the pattern like I normally do, cut the power, finger quotes, right when I cross that position, and then I'm going to attempt to land directly on that specific point there. So there's a couple quick tips for it. Now the first one is don't get too far away from the airport. Second thing to remember is that ground effect is your friend. And the final thing to remember is slip prodigiously. And you'll see exactly what I mean when we get to that point. So let's go ahead and unpause here. Bring myself a little bit more to the right. Looks pretty good. Again, we're cruising at a normal power here. We're in our pattern. We're at our 1,300 feet, which we're supposed to be at. We're going to cross the 1,000 footers and engine failure. So the first thing we want to do with any engine failure is you want to get yourself up to your glide speed right away. The glide speed on this one is about 73 knots. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a very, very express version of our traffic pattern. Now in the real world, one of the things you're constantly going to be battling with this is deciding exactly how far out we want to go. So in this case, I'm actually going to keep it pretty darn close and cut this really, really tight. Now remember, if you take really, really tight turns, you're going to be sucking more energy out of the airplane. But at the same token is if you don't take turns that are tight enough, you're going to end up floating away and you're never going to be able to put yourself down on the ground. So what I like to do is I don't touch the flap handle until I feel like I'm going to hit the ground. So right now, I'm just about confident that I'm going to hit the ground, and I'm going to go ahead and click, click, click. I'm going to slam the flaps down. So of course in the Piper, the moment you slam the flaps like that, the whole nose is going to lift up. We're going to have to go ahead and push that nose down to keep us going. Now the trick to this here is, like I said, like with anything, is you need to take advantage of your ground effect. So what you want to do is you want to get the plane on the ground as fast as you can while you're still in that particular position. So again, I'm just going to nose this sucker right over. Scare the bejesus out of your flight instructor when you do this, by the way. And again, remember the emergency here is that we have no engine. If you start pulling back too early, like I said, we're going to end up running out of energy. So I'm going to get a couple feet over the ground, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of fly it. Like I said, fly it in ground effect. The plane's going to start getting real heavy here. It's going to start getting real heavy, real heavy. Got it. So that's basically all there is to that maneuver. Critical things to remember is don't put the flaps down until you're convinced that you're about to get down. The other part to it that works really well is go ahead and abuse that ground effect as much as you possibly can. And the final one is if you feel yourself getting fast, just give yourself a little bit of slip and you'll be successful. Enjoy.